In today's video, I'm gonna be talking about a camera you absolutely need going forward in your camera bag. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. What is up? Welcome back. Pete here. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. If you're new here, my name is Pete Gottschalk, content producer for Major League Baseball, and it is finally the off season, and therefore I have a little bit of extra time to be able to stand here and make these videos for y'all, talk about sports video, show my life, and get back involved into making content for y'all and helping y'all improve in your life and your sports videography, adventure and whatever you're doing. And as this video is titled, I wanted to talk about a camera that I believe is the future. And if you follow me on Instagram or social, I've used this camera a lot this year, and it by no stretch of the imagination is this something like super new, but it is just something that I don't believe has infiltrated into the mainstream yet, and that is the use of 360 cameras in video and sports broadcasts or on social media, whatever it be. We've seen these camera systems used, as early as probably like 2015, 16 in music videos. I believe it was like Kendrick Lamar did a Tiny Planet thing. Then they were probably very expensive. I don't know the price. But now they are, as technology progresses, they are cheaper and more affordable to the consumer. If you are unfamiliar with what a 360 camera is, it is just pretty self-explanatory. It's a camera that can record in all directions, and basically it's an interactive element when you're editing it. You can make keyframes and swipe or click and move your mouse cursor, whatever it be, into different parts of the image that it records, and keyframe your video and make it a flat video for social or whatever you're going for. So it's pretty self-explanatory. GoPro makes a 360 camera called the GoPro Max, and then Insta 360 is the one that I have been using this season. Like I said, if you follow me on social, I've been doing a lot with the Braves. They love interacting with this, the players, and did a couple during the World Series and playoffs. And I mean, you can see how small this thing is. It's like the size of my hand. This is all it is. We put it on a stick, and that's kind of how we capture stuff. And I want to get into why. I have a couple reasons. I want to get into why this camera I do believe is the future and why it's so innovative. The first reason I do believe this camera it has a lot of potential, and why I think going forward it's going to be pretty prominent, is that it's very innovative. There's nothing like this really you've seen so far, and all of these reasons kind of link, but you're so used to, right, like big broadcast camera whenever you're watching a broadcast, or more in recent years you've seen the gimbal, like the mirrorless camera on a gimbal with the shallow depth of field, and like everyone freaked out about that, even though it had been around a long time, just we hadn't seen it in broadcast. Everyone was like, it's 8K, all that. I don't see why, once the technology catches up, they can't use something like this on that. I think a reason you should add it to your bag is so you get practice with it and you get in the door before other people do. I mean, look, working at MLB, we're kind of expected to be the forefront in like innovation in pretty much all fields, and that goes for the same with any of the big sports teams or leagues or whatever. Content is changing. It's like almost like the race to the moon, only far less significant to humanity. It's all about finding that new innovative way to tell a story or to show fans the game and grow the game. And those cameras, we've actually had like SI articles written about them. My coworker Joe did an angle in London, and everyone thought it was like a video game or a drone look. Get this in your bag and you're gonna be one of the first people to use it. I'm pretty plugged in the sports community and sports video, and I don't see many people using these on a regular basis. So if you have the capability, or if you're at a university, push for this in your budget, or buy one on your own and test it out, buy a cheap one. Very innovative, and I believe it's gonna be used in broadcasts and stuff in the future, and then it won't be innovative. The second reason that I love this system of camera is the ability to give you access to very unique vantage points. These cameras are often very small. It's like an action camera, only you can see a whole field of view and select which points of view you want. For example, I have done runouts in the past. You guys have seen these, you guys and gals have seen these, where I run out with the C70 on a gimbal, and look, I can't get that close to players. It's just a big system. I want to keep my distance. You just can't do that with some athletes. But with this camera on a long kind of selfie stick looking thing, I've been able to do that. The Braves went up into like a high five post game, and I stuck the camera like right under them, and it created this really unique perspective of the high fives after the game under them. And it's just something we've never seen, something a lot of the world hasn't seen yet. These cameras being so small and how they record in all directions, you can get some really unique vantage points, whether it be really low on the ground or really high or in some tight spaces. It gives you those access points. And the third and final reason I do believe that these cameras are so great is that they're very versatile. What I've found is that this does kind of almost replace my camera on a gimbal to a certain degree. You're not gonna get that same depth of field, but you're gonna get a really unique perspective. You can go wide, you can go tight on the software and zoom in, and you can make a time lapse. You can make it emulate a drone if you run with it. You can set it up and use it as an action camera on your camera hot shoe or on something that's not fully submerged in water. It can almost be an action camera, and I imagine the technology GoPro Max can handle that type of stuff. There's unlimited possibilities for what these things can do. The softwares that come with them are awesome, whether it's through your phone or on your laptop or computer, and there's just so many ways you can utilize this piece of equipment. Time lapses, hyperlapses, replace your gimbal on the camera. Behind the scenes footage, you can just place it wherever and it records in all directions. It's great. Obviously, with any camera system, there are limitations. These cameras tend to be kind of tough and low light because they're recording in such a wide depth of field, and the aperture has to be so high. The resolution is kind of catching up with the rest of the world inherently, just because it's such a new piece of technology. We're a couple generations away, I'd say, from being like truly elite and maybe seeing it used in broadcasts and big time like movies and whatever. I think the possibilities are endless. Content, social media content, and what my audience and what I do is going to be there's a big platform for innovation, right? Whether you're at a small school shooting women's basketball or men's basketball or softball, or you're shooting the NFL or you're shooting the NWSL, it doesn't matter. Most of these brands, there's always room for innovation or a piece like this, or a tool like this, sorry. So look, I hope you guys and gals were able to kind of understand what I was trying to get across here. I do believe these camera systems, there's endless possibilities. So if you do have the capabilities, like I said, get it into your camera bag. It's awesome, super fun to play with, and super innovative, super new. Fans, consumers are kind of confused by it at first. Is it a drone? What is this thing? And that's kind of a good thing. Thanks for watching, y'all. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do that now. Hit the like button as well. And I'll see y'all in the next video.